This is the game. A magnificent intro for all Sierra games. This is a Sierra game, and it's called
I am
The
Dr.
Lost Man of
Thaddeus
Dr.
Speedbrain
Brain.
the
It was made
Third.
in
The P
1995 by
stands for
Sierra.
puzzles.
It's the third installment in the Dr. Brain series.
What's your name?
I don't know if it's the best known of them
Type
all.
in your name.
I don't think so. And now we're going to create a new save file, which is going to be exclusively for the speedruns.com team. This is only for the form that I need to fill to add this game to the database. I guess if this gets accepted, I'm going to be the the moderator of this game, which wouldn't be bad at all. I really like this game, which is basically the reason I'm going to speedrun this game. This is not a game that's like made for speedrunning. Of course, not made for speedrunning. It's 20 years, more than 20 years old. But even more than that, it's not even. I don't know. Maybe you'll see why. And we enter here.
I am obsessed with the
This is a cutscene that tells a little more of the context of the game or of the lore of the game, but it's kind of really simple. This is Dr. Brain. He was doing an experiment and he accidentally poured all of his intellect into Dr. Brain, and like he's basically on life support right now. And we have to save him. There are 9 mini games. You can see the titles. We're gonna be going through all of them, and I'll start explaining all the point system, all the difficulty systems on this region right here.
Now entering 3D construction.
Which is called 3D construction, as our assistant Lena just said. Really kind of weird calling her assistant. She's a full right-fledged doctor.
Look at just roll up your sleeves and let's get to cracking.
As you can imagine, this game is about constructing, and it's really, I guess it's pretty straightforward. You have a 3D model here, we have a 2D model here, then we want to reconstruct the 3D model, just reconstruct the 3D model. And there you go.
This section is now 5% complete.
Let's see if we can get to this one just right.
As you could hear, that puzzle we just solved was an advance of 5% into this region, which means we have to complete 12 of these puzzles to complete the region. Or we can go a little harder. This is the expert difficulty. The previous one was the novice difficulty, or easy, medium, and then after this we'll be looking at the hard difficulty. For now, I'm just explaining you what the difference is from the easier level. In this one, well, you can see right away that it's 3 levels instead of 2. There are no grids. There is no guide for us to make it easier for us. That's 3 levels, and it's 4x4 instead of 3x3, and the grids, and that's all of the difference. Yeah, that's, I think that's it for the difference between the first 2 difficulties. Did I just wing it? I think I did. Yeah, there it is.
This section is now 15% complete.
And if you could notice,
Let's say you and me just build another one of those.
and if you were paying attention, the completing a 5% puzzle gave us 250 points, whereas completing a 10% puzzle gave us 1,000 points. That those two numbers are very related, and I'll just spell it out for you. An x% puzzle gives us an x squared times 10 points, which means that I guess it's not that direct, but the higher the percentage per each puzzle that you solve will mean that the total points that you'll get at the end of all the puzzles will be higher. So it's in our best interest to actually go one step further.
You now have more levels.
Well, I interrupted her, but she was going to say what I'm going to say right now, that we have more levels. Instead of 3, we have 4, and each square, instead of being 4 by 4, is going to be 5 by 5. Also, the grids are still gone, the guide is still gone, but also the levels are closer between one and another. Yes, is that how you say it? And the colors are the same, which is the biggest ramping. That's how the difficulty ramps up from the previous level. Maybe you could feel that the previous levels were kind of feasible. They were pretty feasible, and this one ends up being an actual challenge. And that's gonna be a common thought that will at least I have when playing this game. Yep, I think this is all you can see, and that one I don't know how far behind it is. This is it. This is this. We want one here, another one here. We're missing one here. I'm sorry. And I'm missing one square here, which is to above this one. Above this one. I can see it. Okay. And oh dear. This is it. Yep. That is it.
You have just entered a new dimension of thought. This section is now 30% complete.
So as we just saw,
let's see if we can get to this one just right.
As we could see, this level was worth 15%.
This section is now 30% complete.
Okay, 15%, and the puzzle we just made gave us 2,250 points. And yes, it shows that the proportion, I don't know if it's a proportion, but the function maybe, the function between percentage and points given is what I just said. And furthermore, we're going to go back a little bit here. There's this game in particular has something of I don't know if you call it a quirk, something that's interesting, more like something that's interesting about it, but that it makes it a little bit more unique than the other levels. Well, first off,
clicking on the brain will take you back to the laboratory.
Yes, those are the first time you're playing this. She's going to tell you all of what happens when you hover on each of them, on the parts on the screen.
Click this button for information on gameplay in this puzzle.
Yes, and the first time you enter and each region, she's going to tell you the instructions also. And also, well, we got the instruction. We are back to the lab. We can see how far we are in the region, and we can travel to difficulties. And here is we can click on Elena to tell us a hint. In most regions, a hint is a general hint, but in this particular case,
The red level is incomplete. This puzzle is now worth 9%.
she tells us something about what we're working right now, and not only that, every hint she gives us deducts 1 percentage point of the score, or 1 point of the percentage that the current level we're playing now is worth. Oh,
Yeah,
we're not done
it's
yet.
like a barrel and you just got to look around.
Maybe we're missing something like here. Okay, no. I wanted to wing it. Oh,
You're a real craftsman. Never before have I seen such handiwork.
This section is now 39% complete.
I actually
Let's say
found
you and me just build another one of those.
I actually found out that hints in this region, in this puzzle, deducted percentage points while recording this. Like the first time I tried recording this, because this is like, I don't know, third try, and then I started realizing that my voice couldn't be heard clearly at all. So it's better that I kind of failed the previous times.
Life's just a bowl of cherries, and you just the cherry tree.
This section is now 49% complete.
Let's see if we can get to this one just right.
Because, yeah, I've been playing this game since I was little, since I was like, I don't know, 9 years old or something. Oh, I'm missing stuff. How interesting is that?
This section is now 59% complete.
Yeah, it feels
Let's say you and me just build another one of
it
those.
feels incredibly weird that the current points are not a multiple of 5. I don't know if people are going to be interested enough in this game, so we'll be finding some sweet glitches that will happen when some interesting glitches that will happen by using the deducting percentage point mechanic. That was a really hard
This
thing to
section
say.
is now 69% complete.
And 69, I have never heard
Let's
of
say you and me
69%.
just build another one of those.
I never really heard of 69%. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's at least very interesting to hear about this new percentage, these new percentages, because I'm learning about the game that I've been playing since I was a tiny little boy.
Asher may have used similar processes to the mental gymnastics you have just performed. This section is now 79% complete.
And
Let's see if we can get to this
should
one
be-
just right.
I should be interrupting what Rathbone and Elena says. I'm realizing right now, because this is supposed to be a speedrun or a speedrun demonstration. I mean, it's a run. It is a run. And you can't deny
Ayo.
take it from it that it's not a run. Oh my god.
You just don't quite have
Oh,
it.
This section is now 89% complete.
Let's say you
so that's that's how I should be doing these tasks. Just interrupting the shit out of these two guys. Was this it? Yep.
This section is now 99%
Oh,
complete.
99, so then we can go to an easier level. This is pretty much trivial. Yep.
You have finished the construction section and are ready to move on to one of the other brain sections.
Now we have to
Continue
match a
play
little
is at
bit.
your discretion.
Sorry about that again. And there we are. Yes, I'm noticing that the timer is completely red because I have no splits at all. I'm not going to bother with splits. I don't know what order I'm doing this. This is actually the first time I've run this game in its entirety.
Now entering the music region.
And I just call this any percent because this is just pretty much a naive run of the game. Is my voice okay? Am I talking a bit too
Are you
low,
asleep?
maybe?
Back up!
Okay, this is, and now we're on to a new region of the game. This is the music region, you can guess. And the task is this: we have a song. Sorry, I interrupted you. I shouldn't have interrupted him, but I guess that's what I did. We have a piece, more like it, and we have a score, and the score will not be exactly what the piece sounds like. And our task is to rearrange this score so as to make it sound exactly like the piece does. We've got 8 staffs. It always 8 staffs, I think. No, there are some more and some. There are some with 7, I think. No, I think it's between 8 and 9. Okay. And what we can do is to play each staff or a group of staffs, and switch them around. And once we get the exact piece, we select all of it, press play, and there we go. But we are not going to bother with the novice level, with the novice difficulty.
Some of the measures may be mirrored images and therefore must be flipped horizontally.
Precisely
One more time!
what she just said. Now the pieces can be flipped horizontally. So some of them you're going to hear them, but actually they should be played like this. Yeah. Also we have the other difficulty, or it doesn't add any of the difficulty actually, of the left hand. We have more bass notes now, and actually that, I don't think it makes the puzzle harder. If anything, it makes it easier because you can listen to the piece. You can hear that it has some kind of pattern, and for example, in this piece, if you have some knowledge of musical notation, you can see that it goes tun ta tun ta tun ta, or at least if you don't know how this sounds, you can guess that all of the staffs should have the same pattern on the bass notes. So that's going to be part of the strat to play this game. I'm not going to be using those strats because I know all of these levels by heart, actually.
You want to play with one brain again?
And
I play it this way, and then you play it that way.
yeah, I shouldn't have let him play again, but I didn't want to interrupt him again because that would be kind of I don't know. I'm just going to play through these levels like I've been done since I was a kid, because I know, as I told you this, I know this, all of this by memory, except maybe this. Yeah, this one is flip horizontal, vertically, sorry. And that's a little bit of intuition for playing this game. If you play something and it sounds like that, then it's probably going to be vertically flipped. Yeah, that sounds more like it. Check the score.
This section is now 15% complete.
Rising like...
This section is now 15% complete.
What just happened there? Okay. I was going to say something. Yes, there's this little bit of a trick for this section that I actually found out when I was little. I'm very happy about it. Let me play through this a little bit, and then I'm gonna talk about it. Yes, that if you click on the key, is this the cleft? I don't know, the signature or whatever. If you click on this part of the score, then you're gonna select everything of it, and if you press play, then it will play everything, of course. And if it's correct, I mean, first, if it's incorrect, because it's going to be incorrect. Yeah, that sounds horrible, so it's going to be incorrect. I'm gonna press play, and I will be able to interrupt it. Well, actually, this one too was incorrect. So I'm gonna play and interrupt it. But since this is... So now the puzzle will be complete, I'm going to press play, and then I won't be able to interrupt it.
This section is now 30% complete.
So that's a neat little trick.
Who's a good keyboard player? You are! Yes, you are a good keyboard player. Who's a good keyboard player?
I don't have to wait for him to talk. I just didn't want to interrupt him again. I don't know why I should just be interrupting it. This is a run. And yeah, as I was saying, there are plenty of like strats for this. If you're not familiar with the pieces, you can find patterns in the bass notes. Like the one right here, you had to and every staff is going to have that pattern in the bass notes. Maybe here it's not that obvious, but you also have to at the beginning. And yeah, we have all the staff and are right in the right orientation, but still not in the right position. So that's what you're gonna. That's what we're doing now. That's it.
This section is now 45% complete.
I like to hear you on the keyboards. Let's make another song.
Oh, Lord. There are two. Always are going to be two staff that look different from the rest of the piece, which is the last one. I mean, maybe three if you count the first one. Most of the times it won't look that different. Sometimes it will be look pretty. I don't know the hitbox for making Rathbone play the tune. The last staff is pretty much always going to look different from the rest, but the second to last is a lot of times also looks different from the rest. And yeah, in this one we have a ragtime tune, and the pattern. If you know about ragtime, you'll know that it's defined. The ragtime is all dun duns in the left hands and doodly doos in the right hand, and the dun duns mean that the first beat of each staff is going to be a low note. That's part of the theory of ragtime. That's how the experts define it. I'm not making this up. Okay, and also in this level in particular, in the Breeze from Alabama of Scott Joplin, we have a glitch here, more of or error actually, because this staff doesn't complete the 4/4, or maybe the 2/4 actually. Yeah, you can see that it's missing or a silence, and actually this one it's exactly the same as this one, but this one actually is correct. Yeah, and it doesn't really make a difference. I've completed this puzzle with the correct one here and the incorrect one here, and also it also works.
This section is now 60% complete.
If you want to be good, you...
And now I'm just playing how I know these things by memory, based on how I've played this my entire life. If you're a little more knowledgeable about music, then you'll notice that this tune is called in C major. That's also the key that the the score says us. But this entire section, is actually in G major. That actually confused me a little bit.
This section is now 75% complete.
It actually confused me a little
You
bit.
want to play with one brain again?
And this level right here is a little more interesting because I told you before that in almost all of the puzzles, the vertical flip, you could tell that the piece was that the staff was vertically flipped if it sounded bad. And I guess that one doesn't sound too good, but that one doesn't sound. Some of this doesn't sound too bad actually. No, this one is incorrect orientation. No, this is actually completely correct. How about this? Oh, that sounds weird, not bad, just weird. Let me see how it sounds vertically flipped. Now that one sounds good actually. That one doesn't sound bad at all, but it's correct. But it's incorrectly orientated. That is kind of interesting of this puzzle in particular, and this one puzzle from this level, from this region. This, yeah, that's it. told you before that you could tell like the orientation of the staffs because they follow like a pattern. That doesn't go too well here because each staff here is kind of unique. You have to know it. That sounds really good. I like how it sounds. I like how that sounds too. Yeah. Oh, what's the error? Oh, this must be this one. That's it. Yep, I love this piece. I love this piece. Really freaking good.
This section is now 90% complete.
If you want to be good.
Sorry about interrupting you. Now I'm gonna just cruise through this one because it's not that interesting, I think. It's a little more difficult maybe, but not at all something that we should be worrying about. Oh, and also I forgot to mention, I'm not going to use it at all, that if we select 3 of these staffs, we can actually switch them around, and they will rotate. It can be useful, but I don't think at this level of the speedrun community of this game, which is completely non-existent, still non-existent until I send this video, we're not gonna be concerned by it. I think this is done and we're done. We're 30 minutes in.
Great job.
Oh.
Dr. Brain has his musical intelligence returned by your excellent puzzle play. You have finished a sufficient number of musical puzzles to move on to one of the other brain sections. Continued play is at your discretion.
Okay.
Okay, I'll keep everything warm for you. Come back soon.
There are many points of this game that are like that time. That are, I don't know, nonsense? No, I don't know if nonsense is the word, but you can do nothing about them. Like traveling between regions. Always is going to take a lot of time.
Now entering the word surge.
Because this was originally a CD game. I'm actually not playing it through the CD. It should be obvious by now because this game is really old. What the hell did I just do? Well, I fucked up.
Tis a noble thing thou
Letter.
No, I'm not going to follow. I'm going to
a mere pittance of the possibilities herein lie.
Now we have the option of the choice of seeing the save system of this game, because and task I can tell you that end now, please, end its misery. No, did I send report? No, don't send report. Okay, that's maybe 1 minute time loss.
What's your...
The game saves automatically, so there's no time loss at all.
Now entering the word surge.
I mean, there's no progress loss at all. We lost about like a minute of it. But yeah, I'm playing this through VirtualBox. First off, my computer, I don't think it even has. No, it does have a CD system, but it's really glitchy and stuff. Doesn't work that well. And now we're on the word search region or section. This is a word puzzle. It looks a little like Buggle, I guess. It's comprised of 3x3. Is it select? Is this selected? Where's L darker than the rest? I don't know. I've never noticed that. Okay, so we have a 3x3 region. What was it? What was its name? A 3x3 region. 12 spots you can click to move the words around, and your objective is to form these two words, these two target words, in some direction in the grid. If it's there, and it's going to be lightened up.
This section is now 5% complete.
These the novice puzzles for this are really freaking easy. Not you won't convince anything that this is a challenge.
This section is now 10% complete.
But as you go further into the difficulties, things are going to be a little more narrow. First off, you can't just start forming the words just like that. You're going to have a little more of a strategy. For example, you can see that there's only one M in the puzzle, and you're being asked for two M's to make two words with an N in them. So you're going to need mix the words up, and this is the only way to make it. Maybe going here and here, or here and here and here and here, but those all are isomorphic. Those are all rotations of one another, and you can make it. If you can make this, then you can make the other. I didn't want to use the word isomorphic, but that's the word I'm most familiar with, and I think it's more correct actually. We can make "id" here and here, so
this puzzle will give both hemispheres of your brain a good workout.
You have to keep in, and if you want to talk about the game, then gonna have to keep clicking if you don't want to be interrupted. And so we may be able to do able here and "id" here, or maybe "id" here and able here. I'm going to do this one because it takes less moves, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna try with this one. If it doesn't work, I'll try the other one. We got the D here. I'm going to put the Y here, and we don't care about this A, so put a little G here.
Your left and right hemispheres have been communicating with lightning speed across the corpus callosum, the bundle of nerve fibers that connect both sides. This section is now 20% complete.
Those are really interesting things they're saying, but I don't want to hear them right now. Do we have another pair of words that can give us a little hint in this one? We have daft and desk, two D's and only one D, but that doesn't work that as well, because we can do daft here and desk here, like both on the X and Y direction, and or also we could do one word here and the other one on diagonal, and those two directions are not isomorphic one to another. I don't like using that word, but it's the most correct one, because it's not a rotation. It could be also a reflection of one another, and that's also feasible. If one is done, its reflection is going to be visible. The rotation is going to be visible, or a rotation of the light. You can see where I'm going at, but an diagonal and a vertical, or a diagonal and a horizontal is not going to be like equivalent to the other one. Maybe go with the F, but there's two F's, so let's do it there. E's, there's two E's, no, nothing there. I'll go for Occam's razor, and just Occam's razor is your friend also in this. I'll try with the vertical horizontal. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to cry. Left and desk. There we go. What? No, left desk. Why was it desk? I heard desk. Each. E. Oh, we have only one S. We only have one S. So I'm glad I'm the other. Well, it doesn't really matter. I can just move it around. Save. Okay. How did we do this again? I want to move this here. So. How did it do this again?
Exercise.
Shut up. Don't interrupt me. That's not polite. That's not polite of you. Well, we can do this. It doesn't help a lot. Save. This one is actually, it shouldn't be harder. It should be easier actually. Okay, I know what to do. There I know what to do. Okay, save. Desk and each. We do each easier than this. I don't think we do each. And we don't care about this H, this P, or this C, so we're going just to this. And now we have to treat a little more carefully. When we care about this piece, so we put this one here, we put it here, and there we go.
Neither lender nor a borrower.
This section is now 30% complete.
Yeah. We'll try the US level for once. Now we have a 5x5 grid and 6 target words. And now we can pretty much mathematically prove that 2 of these words are going to collide with another one, gonna be mixed up. We'll have at least one letter in common. Well, there can have more than one letter in common actually. I know this puzzle very well, so I'm just going to mention this, that there is only one C in the puzzle. There's only one C, and we are asked for a C in bacon and ankle. But that's pretty much what I mentioned last time in the last puzzle. We cannot put bacon here and an ankle here like right away, because one of the two could be in diagonals, and those two are not equivalent, and we're gonna be losing time if that isn't the case.
You will not only be using both sides of your brain, but also...
Yeah, that's how you interrupt Elena. What was the letter in common? Blurb and ankle. Yes, there's only one U, and there's one here, another one here, and the only way you can put these two words is by putting one in one side and the other one across. So let's do that. Blurb and That wasn't what I wanted to do. There we go, blarb and ankle. Let's see what we can do next. Mango has to go somewhere. Not an M, not an M, not an M, not an M. Not an, it works here and doesn't work anywhere else. So there we go. When I have this configuration like this, using the two dimensions, then yeah, 2 dimensions, up left and right down. That was horrible. Up, down, and down, left, right. Then all of the other words will have one letter in common with what we have right now. And mango can only go here. So that's what we do now. And I forgot to mention, yes, I forgot, that was a little, I didn't think twice about this, but it could be from live, instead of being mango, it could be ognam, like from mango from the right to left. I'm just gonna try the simpler option, which is right to left, left to right, sorry. I'm bad with directions. Mango, blur, mango, ankle, and we have bones somewhere. I can guess that it's here, but let's see how it goes for the rest of the words. Bones, bacon, going to be here. Bacon, bones, and seeds, either seeds or seeds. Yeah, it could be ed or ed. Let's go for that. Bacon. What did I just do? That wasn't a smart thing to do at all. Mango, bacon, ankle, bake. Oh, there's no. Ankle, mango, bacon. Bacon. Bones. Yes. Look, we had seeds here. But we cannot put this one back. That wasn't a smart thing to do. We just need to put this one here. We don't care about this K, so let's go for this. We don't care about this J either. Blah and blah.
There are more things in heaven and earth that you have found by stringing words of winsome wealth.
This section is now 45% complete.
I like the little verses he speaks, but I'm going to be interrupting all of them from now on. And I'm going to focus on these non-challenges.
This section is now 50% complete.
I think the strat for the any percent category, not doing everything, which is going to be not doing everything in genius level, is just doing, at least in this region, is going to be just go for the novice puzzles. Just don't think too much about it and go for the novice puzzles.
This section is now 55% complete.
Tap. Oh. Oh, come on. There we go.
This section is now 60% complete. Weaving words on the loom of the mind creates This section is now 65% complete.
In some of these levels, you have one move to complete the game. It's actually faster to just do them without thinking too much.
This section is now 70% complete.
If
I haven't been worrying about the volume of my voice actually from a lot of the recording, so I don't know if I'm
the words you have...
I'm losing a lot of time or just
This
sounding
section
really
is now
bad.
75% complete.
I'm going to project a little more my voice from now on.
This section is now 80% complete. This section is now 85% complete. This section is now 90% complete.
If
This section is now 95% complete.
I'm not doing what I want to do. Oh.
You have finished the word search and are ready to move on to one of the other brain sections. Continued play is at your discretion. Stimulating and
Okay.
now entering the synaptic cleft.
I'm going now for the easily the hardest region in the game to do on the hard difficulty. Genius. And if you've played this game before, you know what I mean. I'm going to play through the first levels first and show you what the game is about. You can kind of guess what it's about right now. There's little cows, there's a mouth and there's a receptor. I'm not called the mouth, it's something that it's expelling cows. And I have a lasso that repels the cows. And the cows die if they crush anything. putting 5 cows in this receptor. I mean, putting cows in the receptor raises the gauge, and if the gauge reaches 5, then the level is complete. I'm not going to bother with the easy level. I'm going to show you a little more of the harder levels.
Received neurotransmitters will begin to decay after a period of time and will need to be replaced. This puzzle is...
That's what happens now. Well, first off, we have some obstacles. We have something that attracts the cows. You can see from this one here. I'm going to lure him away, and they are going to go towards that pile of hen, I guess. And there's also this rock that they don't care a lot about, but it kills them anyway. And they have this cactus that they don't really like. They go, it repels the cows, but it kills them anyway. And we have to do now is to lure the cows. Or they're actually neurotransmitters. We have to lure the cows into the receptor, and if we fail to put more than one in a row, I'm actually doing quite well right now. I I'm gonna stop right now. If I fail to put a cow in due time, the gauge is going to decay, and that's what we're dealing with right now.
Received neurotransmitters will begin to decay after a period of time and will need to be replaced.
And now we have to keep putting neurotransmitters into the receptor, or cows into the mouth, whichever analogy you prefer the best, and it's going to decay much quicker. In the novice difficulty, you have to put 5 cows into the gauge and into the receptor to finish the level. In the expert level it's 7, and now it's 9. And not only 9, there are more obstacles, there are more cows that can crash into each other and die. If they crash to anything, even each other, they're going to die. Even the little curls into the receptor, they're going to die. So I don't remember what I was saying. It's 9 cows to fill the gauge, and they're going to decay much quicker. So you can maybe you can feel that this level is actually becoming more of a challenge than it was before. I've actually practiced quite a little bit, so I can defend myself. Can do a fairly good job at this. But luckily, in my practice sessions, I found that there was a way to cheese this level. Maybe I don't know if this is going to work. So the way I'm going to cheese this level is to let me just play again. I'm not doing so well with the cheese. With the cheesing. Let me just maybe around here. It's here. Almost. There we go. I put the cursor in a single spot near the entrance, so the cows are going to follow a very specific trajectory, and that trajectory is going to land them right into the receptor.
Well, boy, you're fine.
This section is now 15% complete.
Without the cheese strats, this level would be pretty much impossible, or at least impossible to do quickly with a reasonable amount of effort. Yes.
This section is now 30%
And I found
complete.
cheese strats for each
Okie
level of
dokie, this time I'll let you steer the horse
the
in.
genius difficulty, except for this one. So this one is going to be done with actual effort, and it will take a while. It will take a motherfucking while. Yep. One down. Oh yes, we lost the cow. And the strategy to go through this level, that I can tell, is to get good. This is the only strategy I can tell you. Just get good, practice a lot, and you'll land it. This is actually the only level that have made me think, well, is it really worth it to speedrun this game? But here I am. Just trying to attempt this. Can you try to attempt something? I just say trying to attempt. That's not a thing, is it? No. One of the hints that Elena gives you when you ask her for a hint is you don't have to keep the cursor pressed, you don't have to keep the lasso pressed all of the stage. You can just well, it doesn't say, it doesn't, she says just that, you don't have to keep the lasso pressed the entire of the stage, which means you can let them, you can like make them go to a certain spot, and then you can let them rest for a bit, let them lose their speed, and then you can maneuver the cow a little better. This isn't the case on the genius level. If you, there are some, even if I keep the lasso pressed all of the route, all of the trajectory, some cows are going to be too slow, and I'm going to lose a cow before they get in, just like that one did. So not only I have to be incredibly precise with my movements, I have to do this quick, and it really is quicker than the game kind of allows you to. I don't know how long I have been in this level, but trust me, we're not even halfway done. One of the worst parts about this is that after a while playing this game, playing this region, the game is going to lag, and that is really not a fair feature of the game. Two to go, one to go. Nope. to go. And 2 to go. Sorry, that was 1. Now it's 2. 3 to go. 4 to go. 5 to go. 4 to go. Still 4 to go. Okay, that was quick. That was actually quick.
Mikey.
This section is now 45% complete.
Oh God. God, I'm so
It's
glad.
like they say, if you...
So I mentioned that I have cheese strat for all levels in the game, and that's what I'm gonna do now. There it is.
This section is now 60% complete.
Come on!
Oh yeah, this one. This one is a little more advanced cheesing. This one takes a little more advanced cheesing. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if you can see, but the cows now are. I'm pressing right at the spot where the cows appear, because they don't really appear from the mouth. They appear a little, like, I don't know, 20 pixels away, 10 pixels away. So if I press right on there when they're at the spot they are appearing, they are going to rocket, like they're going to rocket away. You can see that cow that's going down, it's rocketing away. Let's see around here. There we go. The cow is rocketing through the stage. It's going so fast that the game doesn't process it going in, and also it's clipping through the cactus. Yep. So this cheese strat doesn't work just like this. We have to do something a little cleverer, more clever. The strat is to the right. Now that one is going light speed. That's it. We make it go incredibly fast, and then we oh, shit. We make the cow fly at the speed of sound, and when it appears, we stop pressing the cursor. We take a little bit of energy from it, and it goes at the right speed, at the precise speed, so it both goes in the mouth, and also it's slow enough to get processed by the game. So yeah, I lost the spot. Yep, I lost the spot. How is it so precise? Yeah, this is almost the right amount, but it doesn't work fast. That's the spot. That is the spot. It's so easy to lose the spot. Oh, I lost the spot again. I'm going to be doing this. Yeah, what I'm doing right now is I have my mouse in the same spot and I'm clicking it using the trackpad, so I don't move the mouse when I click it. There we go. Ah no, I'm missing one. There we go. Yep. It just takes a little
You have
less
discovered that
energy.
brute force is not as successful as cleft. This section is now 75% complete.
She tells something about cleverness. It is about it really is about cleverness. This whole thing is about cleverness. It's more about noticing that this game should not be this hard. There must be something we can do about this sheer injustice. No game should be so stupidly difficult so it's unspeedrunnable.
I'm confused. Just how do you make a...
This section is now 90% complete.
It's like they say, if you fall off, you
This
gotta
one.
climb right back on.
This one also has a cheese strat and it's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. Look at that, look at that. Look at it. If you go the cow, you go a little faster. I was saying, if you make the cow go a little faster, it's going to crash with the cactus. You make it even faster, it's going to clip through the cactus and clip through the receptor, and it's not going to process it. Where was the spot? I think this is it. Yep. If it's going too fast, it's going to crash into the cactus. If it goes a little slower, then it still crashes, and it goes a little bit more slower, then I missed the spot. Then it's going to actually clip through the cactus. There's a frame in between. I mean, there are two frames consecutive to one another, and in between them there should be a cow.
You have finished the synaptic cleft and are ready to move on to one of the other brain sections. Continued play is at your
I
discretion.
didn't describe it that well, but the cow went from one frame to another, from the next one, and in one frame it was just at the left of the cactus, and the next frame it was just at the right of the cactus. So it didn't process that it was crashing into it. And also something that I forgot to mention. Maybe you can rewind the video a little bit. That level gave us 2,250 points plus a 10,000 point gift, you could say, prize for doing all the levels in the hard difficulty, in the genius difficulty.
Yeah, boy.
I think I'm speaking a little too soft.
Your brain has just
I
expanded
don't
its
want.
capacity to solve the
Yes,
tasks ahead.
I
Let's move into another area of the
I
brain.
lowered the system audio a little bit, just in case I wasn't speaking high enough, loud enough.
Now entering the neural
That's not gonna
maze.
sound. Yep. And if just in case I haven't mentioned this at some point of the game, the categories that I'm thinking of are any percent, which I'm playing right now because I'm doing some levels on easy, some levels on hard, some levels on
I haven't
intermediate.
seen you in so long, my hair's that. We got a lot of way to go and not a lot of time. Besides, my coffee's getting cold.
And the other categories that I'm thinking of. Oh, this is going to sound. And the other category that I'm thinking of is highest score. The highest score is going to be given, of course, by doing all levels in Genius, doing all sections of the game, every level of every section in the game in the Genius difficulty. And maybe you could crunch the numbers a little bit to notice that it's better to do like. Yeah, I mean, how can I explain this? Doing 7 times the genius level, doing 7 puzzles in the genius difficulty gives it needs 7 needs how was it how we call it 7 you need to do 7 puzzles of it. But for example, in the 3D construction region, you could maybe do 1 puzzle in easy. You ask for hints. No, ask for 1 hint. You earn 4%.
You sure this is the right way?
You earn 4%, and then you earn another 105%. I mean, you earn another. No, you could. That's it. Sorry. Going intermediate. Ask for 1 hint. You get 9%. Then you use 6 puzzles in Genius. Then you get 99%. And after that, you do another Genius puzzle. And then you're going to have more points than you would have had. And you're going to have exactly 810 points more than you would have if you did every puzzle from the start in the Genius difficulty.
Hey, where you been, New Jersey?
But that doesn't account for the 10,000 points you receive as a prize. Hey, don't start sleeping on me. So, well, basically, it's always more convenient to play everything in Genius, point wise. And yeah, you've been seeing this screen for a lot of time, and I haven't explained what this is about. This is the neural maze. This is a maze with 3 levels and some how was this called? Some tubes, pipes. There are pipes. You travel through the pipes, and you go up and down level with these arrows, little arrows that we have here, and all of the paths leads to dead ends. This is a maze. That was a waste of time. There we go. You have to kind of remember where the arrows go, and then you get to the finish.
Hey, you're good. You're really good.
This section is now 5% complete.
Let's check the intermediate level.
You now have additional levels to navigate.
That's
This
it.
puzzle is now worth 10%.
Let me see if hints also deduct here.
While you move forward through the maze, also try to plot your way back from the finish.
Okay. That was kind of obvious. Hey, let me see something. I think you can, yeah, yes, this squiggly line here is the pipe from the, yeah, from the level that goes immediately down, that is immediately below the current level. Oh, finish, forgot to see what it was. Okay, I'm gonna see it again, and you're going to up. This is our goal now. This is our goal, but now we're not gonna see this because we're going down and this goes up. We're going further down and we've reached a dead end. I don't have much of an heuristic for this game. That was completely the opposite of what I wanted to say. I don't have any strats, any like surefire strats. I just have a kind of a heuristic for doing this game. Basically, you just have to expect the maze to take you through all the levels. Try to go as high as you can if you're low, and as slow as you can if you're high. Or
This section is now 15% complete.
try to travel to
Look, you know I really like you, so what do you say? Let's take another hike through the maze.
So my heuristic is just going to the arrow that's closer to me. No, actually, I shouldn't have done that. Closer to me, try to see the finish as quickly as I can. Like right here. I know that these two lead to the finish, and try to remember those. Remember those, and it's done. It wasn't hard at all.
This section is now 25% complete.
So we're going to see the genius.
Couldn't have done
level.
that any better all by myself. Come on, let's slosh through it again.
Novice puzzle had 3 levels. Now we have 7 levels, and now we're going to have a nice.
You now have additional levels to navigate.
12 levels. These are 12 levels. So this is going to be fun. You can see it. You can feel this is going to be fun. And just as I told you, I had a choice of going down or up, but I preferred going down because I wanted to reach the bottom here as quickly as I could. That is generally what you want to do. Shit. Okay, powered up, and we can see the finish. The finish goes here, it goes here. Now we focus on this one, we go here, maybe these one are connected, of course they're not. Are these connected? Yes they are. And we didn't even need to go to the higher levels. That is kind of unusual, I think. I haven't played through many of these puzzles.
Hey, yours is amazing.
This section is now 40% complete.
We're gonna try to see the finish right away. Maybe not. Oh, I'm gonna take one level up now. What does this await? What going to tell us? Yeah, we can go one level up and we're gonna see the finish. Yes, we can see the finish. I'm going to try to go up now. This one is going to be a little hard to follow. Yeah. Down, and we can go down here, and this is a dead end. Another dead end. Shit! Look at this. I have to remember this. Now let us see what awaits us here. This goes here, here. This is a dead end actually. Dead end, yep. The dead end. All of the arrows point to down because we're on the uppermost level, of course. I mean, of course, because we're on the uppermost level. We reach a dead end. That's fun. Mighty fun. And this entire section was... all of it was a dead end. There's no way to avoid going through this arrow if it's in the middle of our way. We will demonstrate it later. So this entire section is a level. This entire how do you say, from a tree, the part of a tree that has the leaves branch. This whole that whole branch was a waste of time. Our heuristic tells us to go down, so we don't. So we go down. The ideal way to do this game is to remember each one of these sections. Like you have a graph that you're filling. Well, no, with no, we should do this. These pipes take a long time. We can see if this is a dead end. This is a dead end to here, a dead end to here, and it's a dead end to here. So that would be an incredible loss of time. Like, what was it? Yeah, going through here, 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 and here would have been an incredible loss of time because we go through here, to here, to here, and this is a dead end. So it's better if we don't mess with that. I was about to mess with that. Of course, it's better to remember where you came from. I don't remember if that's the way I came from or it wasn't. I think generally the game is going to prize you if you go the simpler way. Yep, that's it.
You sure you don't want to come down here and work for me down here all the time over there, down here?
This section is now 55% complete.
Whoa, that was great fun. Let's do it again.
I don't know if it's... I don't know if how long it takes, how long each of these puzzles, these mazes take. I'm just going to do it on expert because I think it's going to be much shorter. Yeah, the dimensions of each level don't change. Are the same. It's just the number of levels. Plain and simple. Oh god. Yeah, this is a dead end. This is also a dead end, and this is not. dead end too. Oh, forgot to see the finish line. Okay, we go here, and we also have a thing here. So this one is also a finish. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to the finish when I was here. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that wasn't. No, I think we're on the right track. Lo and behold, we're on the right track. Okay, now I can showcase what I was saying before. I want to go here. I want to finish this thing, but this teleporter is on my way. This elevator is on my way, so I kind of want to go around it, but I can't. I can't go around it. I just had to take it.
This section is now 65% complete.
Couldn't have done that any better.
Finish. There we are. That's a finish. Here. Goes here. Now was here. I remember it was here. And there's nothing else. That was a dead end. It goes through here. We're going to go here. We're going to get here or here. But we can only follow this one. We're back at the start. We're back at the start. Has that happened to me before? Oh god, I wasn't paying attention at all. No, that was a dead end. Close call. Yes. Are we good? Are we cool? I think we are. Yes, we are. We are very cool. Come on.
This section is now 75% complete.
So all in all, this section, this mini game is a bit tedious, a little bit confusing. That is not painful. It's not something that you can get immensely frustrated like Synaptic cleft, or as you what? No, that wasn't it. No, I can't see that one. Maybe I can. Oh, this was a dead end. Okay. I have to go higher. I want to go a bit higher than that. I want to go here. I want to get into one of these. This is a dead end. One of these. Yeah, this is a dead end. All in all, it's a dead end. Go down. What are my choices? Going up. Didn't I just came from here? Yeah, that was a dead end, wasn't it? Yep, that was a dead end. Okay, I don't know if I'm gone through here. This doesn't look good at all. I remember not choosing this path. Let me try it. Oh, that's a long way. I should have. I think it's a dead end. I'm gonna be sad if it is. It is a goddamn dead end. Maybe I could start over. Oh god, yeah, I'm gonna start over. This wasn't good at all. I didn't remember any of it. I didn't remember any of the puzzle, any part of the maze. That was amazing. Oh my god. Not even here we can avoid this elevator. No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh, boy, wasn't this.
This section is...
Let me just try again.
You now have additional...
Okay, I'll give it one more earnest try. That was the try.
You...
Oh god. I'm gonna keep.
This section is now 85% complete.
I'm just gonna keep doing.
Couldn't have done that any better all by
there are
myself.
2 ways.
Come on, let's slosh through it again.
One of them was a dead end. Close call. I come here. Then of course I am. Yeah, these are incredibly
This section is now
Easier.
90% complete.
much easier.
Look, you know I really like you, so what do you say? Let's take another hike through the maze.
I don't think you even have to pay attention. Yeah, this is astoundingly easy.
This section is now 95% complete.
Because this, I think it doesn't even. It's not just that it. It's not just that it. How can I say it? It's not just that it has less levels and it has less ways to go to. It doesn't branch as much, and it could branch and could pretty well branch the same as the.
Congratulations!
Okay.
You have finished the neural maze and are ready to move on to one of the other brain sections. Continued play is at your discretion.
It could branch much more, but it doesn't. The novice level could branch pretty much the same as the expert level, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. No, I'm having second thoughts about that.
You have just...
We're going for Pentode now.
Now entering Pentode.
The other gauntlet of the game. At least when it's done on the genius difficulty. So I'm gonna show what this game is about.
It's very, very important.
What can we see now? There's a curtain. There's Rathbone, who speaks like
U W.
I don't know who he speaks like.
Next time you go for a snack, get me something too. Shall we begin? Click on the curtain.
Yep. And you saw a grid.
Y
This is the sign language.
X Y
How can I say it?
Y W
This is sign language. The
X
cues are given. Okay, that's it. The cues are given in sign
Y.
language.
T U Z W
And
Z
and the objective of the game is to put
X
whatever symbols he's giving you in the grid
Z
and pair them one to another.
W U
Pair them with each other.
U,
And if you get a group of more than 2, then you get more
U,
points. Points are,
T,
you can see the point.
T, U, Z,
It's kind of hard to explain this.
X,
Okay,
W,
see how the
X,
clock advances now. It went some way, yeah, so it went
Z,
it went up a little bit, and now it's going to go,
Z,
see,
X,
a little further. Yes,
Y,
you see there.
X,
Where is that? I don't have an X.
V,
I don't have a V.
Z,
Let's see.
X,
It avances a little more.
X, T, Y, Y, V, V, Y, X, V, Z, W, Z, U, Y, T, W, W, T,
Now you're gonna see this clock advance
U,
a lot more. Yep.
W,
That's called a pentode.
W,
And I screwed up.
U, W, X, V, Y, T, W, W, Y, Y, U, U, W, Z, V, U.
So there it is.
Quick like a bunny, sharp as a tack.
You are in the process of creating a meta-language that will create new neural connections integrating word and meaning centers on both sides of your brain. This section is now 5% complete.
So as you saw,
Percent D.
I'm going to pause this a little bit.
time for tea.
This
Click
game
on the
gets
curtain and
really
we'll
frantic.
begin. I
Really,
just
actually,
love
really
to
frantic.
watch you play.
In novice, this game isn't hard at all. I mean, it is a game. You can lose. You have to screw it pretty badly if you want to lose. But it's really easy. In the higher difficulties, it gets a lot more challenging.
Things will move a little more rapidly with an increased symbol set. This puzzle
Yes.
is now worth 10%.
We had
Oh, now that's
maybe
the
7
spirit.
symbols
Let us
before,
continue on.
and now we're gonna have more.
C, B, B, J, A, D, A, E, A, D, C, E, 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 D, J, B, E, 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 D, F, C, D, D, J, E, C, E, B, A, F, D, D, C, E, D, E, B, D, D, B, F, D, D, F, A, F, D, F, F, E, A, E, B, B, F, J, C, F, F, E, E, B, E, A, D, D A J E J B D A F C D F E J F E
What was F?
E
E
F
If was this?
D C A E C F B F F C J J C E B B F
Maybe you're noticing it, but
F
the clock is going quite slower.
B C J
Maybe a little bit slower.
B F F A C E F C F F F E J A F B B F C E J F F F C E E C E J B A E F A D J D F E F C F J F A D A E F D D C F F F D. This makes you very, very rich of mind.
This section is now 15% complete.
Okay. I'm going to interrupt you a little bit. Oh man, God.
Oh, I wish I had a scone right now. Yes, click on the curtain and we'll begin. I just love to watch you play.
Each time you get a pair of symbols together, a two group, you get 1/15th part. No, what 50? 1/50th? Was it like that? Oh my God, I'm bad with fractions. 50th, maybe that's a word. 1/50th of the total point you need to complete the level. If you get a 3 group, you get 2/50ths. You get a 4 group, that's 4/50ths, and if you get a pentode or
Symbolic thinking is one of the most elegant mental tools that have transformed the structure and function of the human brain.
You get a 5 group. If you get a 5 group, you get I forgot what was on to. 2 is 1.
I trust that you ran out to feed my polo ponies.
2 is 1. Can I just click here and no one will interrupt me? Maybe. 2 is 1, 3 is 2, 4 is 4, and 5 is 8. Doing a pentode gives you 8 points. Like points for the in-game points. I think in the easier difficulties the points are doubled, so you have to do half of what you need in the expert level. And in the genius level, the points are the same as in the expert level. And you might ask yourself, that seems like the difficulty doesn't ramp up a little, that doesn't ramp up too much, but it does. It does quite a bit. You'll see why. Now I'm going to go with chemical symbols, element symbols.
You may wish to let your nonverbal intuition take over.
We were playing with sign language. We have Roman numerals, we have Greek letters, and we have elements. I've always found that elements were easier. If you have another background, you may think that the Greek letters are easier. But the way Rathbone pronounces the words doesn't help a lot.
Once more.
I'm going to try Genius. And you...
Oh my.
When you make a match, the last piece placed will remain. This puzzle is now worth 15%.
Now it gets
Persistence
hardcore.
builds character.
This is much hardcore.
Radium, radon, plutonium.
Look
plutonium.
Here. Look at that. Look at that.
Radium, polonium.
It stays
bismuth,
right there. It stays
plutonium, bismuth, plutonium, francium, plutonium, actinium, bismuth, francium, bismuth, actinium, plutonium, actinium, polonium, thallium, polonium, radon, astatine, lead.
And that's
astatine,
it. And there it is.
Actinium.
There it is.
Polonium, radium, thallium.
Okay, I'm going to rip you a
The
bit.
answer is that I am very, very rare.
So you saw the grid. You saw the grid. Since each piece remains there after you put it, then the wisest choice is to have a domino, like a domino space for each element. Like for example,
Actinium.
I don't even remember which one
thallium,
it was. Yeah, I'm dead.
francium.
I'm dead right here.
Actinium, lead.
I lost.
Actinium.
I lost.
Thallium.
Just like that, I lost.
Polonium, actinium, thallium,
I forgot
bismuth,
one, and
thallium,
it's done.
actinium,
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother.
bismuth. A valiant effort, but
So,
I'm afraid unsuccessful. We
this-
must continue onward.
And at this level, okay,
Plutonium.
I don't care anymore.
Radium,
Let's say I give
radon,
this is going to be plutonium space.
plutonium,
This is going to be radium space. This is going to be
plutonium,
radon space. We have plutonium space.
radium, polonium,
This is going to be
bismuth,
polonium space. This is going to be
plutonium,
infield space.
bismuth,
Plutonium, okay, bismuth.
plutonium,
Plutonium here.
francium, plutonium,
Plutonium here.
actinium,
This is going to be the
actinium,
the 1 by 2
bismuth,
space of bismuth,
francium,
of actinium, of francium.
bismuth, actinium, plutonium, actinium, polonium, thallium,
This is
polonium,
going to be
radon,
thallium. This is going to be
astatine,
radon. This is going to be astatine.
lead,
And where do I put
astatine,
lead? I cannot put lead.
actinium.
I
Well,
just
that
lost.
didn't seem to work so smoothly, did it?
The game doesn't give you enough space to put to make a
We'll slow
reasonable
things down a
strategy.
bit and focus the set of symbols.
It gets really
this puzzle
frantic.
is now worth 10%.
The first two
Oh,
levels,
now
which
that's the spirit.
the first
Let
two
us
puzzles, I
continue
mean
on.
maybe 2 levels.
Radium, actinium, plutonium, polonium, radon, polonium, lead, plutonium, radium, lead, polonium, actinium, radon, bismuth, radium, lead, astatine, polonium, actinium, plutonium, francium, bismuth, astatine, radium, radium, plutonium, polonium, astatine, radium, polonium, astatine, polonium, plutonium, radon, lead, bismuth, francium, radon, lead, astatine, astatine, plutonium, francium, bismuth, actinium, radon, plutonium, radium, polonium, radon, lead, radon, lead, astatine, bismuth, actinium, bismuth, lead, plutonium, lead, bismuth, astatine, actinium, francium, plutonium, francium, lead, radium, astatine, radon, bismuth, radon, francium.
Okay, I died.
It seems as though things have become a bit clogged.
I got a
No
little
need
too...
to have a tizzy. We'll try this again.
How can I say it?
Radium, actinium, plutonium,
I got a little
polonium.
too ambitious right there.
So many choices, so little time.
I guess you can
This
kind of...
reminded me of a radium, plutonium, polonium, radon, polonium, lead, plutonium, radium, lead, polonium, actinium, radon, bismuth, radium, lead, astatine, polonium, actinium, plutonium, francium, bismuth, astatine, radium, polonium, astatine, radium, polonium, astatine, polonium, plutonium, radon, lead, bismuth, francium, radon, lead, astatine, plutonium, francium, bismuth, actinium, radon, plutonium, radium, polonium,
Oh,
radon, lead, radon, lead, astatine, bismuth, actinium, bismuth, lead, plutonium, lead, bismuth, astatine, actinium, francium, plutonium, lead, radium, astatine, radon, bismuth, francium, astatine, polonium, actinium, lead, lead, plutonium, francium, radium, lead, radium, lead, astatine, polonium, actinium, francium, plutonium, lead, astatine, francium, actinium, francium, plutonium, radium, radium, bismuth, radium, polonium, lead, radon, lead, radium, astatine, francium, polonium, radium, lead, bismuth, actinium, radon, francium, plutonium, radium, francium, radon, radon, polonium, lead, actinium, bismuth, bismuth, polonium, francium, actinium, francium, lead, astatine, bismuth, polonium, radon, plutonium, francium, polonium, bismuth, polonium, radium, bismuth, bismuth, radon, actinium, plutonium, polonium,
Oh, what's the next one?
actinium, bismuth, plutonium, radon, francium, astatine.
Yep, there we go.
You are a bright one.
You have merged visual, spatial, and auditory symbols in a new and complex way that has stretched your brain.
What
I'm gonna see if
We'll
this is.
slow things.
persistence builds hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, beryllium, hydrogen, boron, oxygen, carbon, oxygen, oxygen, beryllium, beryllium, lithium, carbon, oxygen, oxygen, lithium, boron, oxygen, hydrogen, oxygen, lithium, beryllium, helium, boron, beryllium, helium, nitrogen, boron, lithium, carbon, beryllium, lithium, helium, hydrogen, beryllium, helium, hydrogen, helium, boron, oxygen, helium, lithium, helium, boron, helium, beryllium, lithium, carbon, boron.
Yeah, it's
You
much
are
quicker.
marvelous.
It's more
You
than
know
twice
that, don't
quicker.
you?
It is more than twice quicker.
This
so
section is now
you're going to
30%
like
complete.
just
Oh,
do
I'm
like this.
Aluminum, neon, phosphorus, neon, phosphorus, phosphorus, silicon, sodium, silicon,
No silicon,
neon,
no neon,
sodium,
sodium.
neon, phosphorus, silicon, neon,
There's no neon.
magnesium,
There's magnesium.
sodium, aluminum, neon, neon, magnesium, neon, phosphorus, magnesium, aluminum, sodium, magnesium, silicon, neon, magnesium, phosphorus, neon, magnesium, phosphorus, silicon, aluminum, neon. You are so
This section is now 35% complete.
calcium, potassium, vanadium, calcium, vanadium, scandium, titanium, argon, calcium, titanium, titanium, potassium, scandium, titanium, argon, potassium, titanium, calcium, vanadium, calcium, argon, titanium, calcium, scandium, vanadium, scandium, argon, vanadium, titanium, vanadium, potassium, calcium, potassium, scandium, calcium, potassium, argon, vanadium, titanium. Mama would have
This section is now 40% complete.
one chlorine, nickel, copper, chromium, manganese, nickel, chromium, cobalt, sulfur, iron, chromium, cobalt, nickel, copper, chromium, iron, sulfur, manganese, iron, sulfur, cobalt, nickel, copper, chlorine, manganese, copper, nickel, cobalt, iron, sulfur, cobalt, chromium, iron, nickel, manganese, copper, cobalt, chromium, iron, manganese, sulfur, iron, nickel, chromium, chlorine, nickel, cobalt. You are
This section is now 45% complete.
gallium, selenium, gallium, arsenic, bromine, selenium, bromine, zinc, selenium, bromine, germanium, bromine, arsenic, krypton, gallium, gallium, selenium, germanium, arsenic, germanium, krypton, germanium, gallium, selenium, arsenic, gallium, bromine, arsenic, gallium, bromine, arsenic, germanium.
Oh,
Say,
fuck up.
arsenic, gallium, germanium, selenium, krypton, gallium, arsenic, bromine, germanium, selenium, arsenic, gallium, selenium, bromine, germanium, bromine, arsenic, krypton, gallium, germanium, gallium, selenium, germanium, krypton, germanium, arsenic, krypton, germanium, selenium, germanium, krypton, germanium, gallium, krypton, germanium, gallium, krypton, arsenic, germanium, gallium, selenium, zinc, gallium, selenium, germanium, zinc, arsenic, zinc, gallium, selenium, gallium, selenium, bromine, arsenic, gallium, bromine, arsenic, germanium, arsenic, selenium, zinc, bromine, arsenic, selenium, germanium, selenium. Oh,
This section is now 50% complete.
no, it, zirconium, zirconium, yttrium, strontium, yttrium, niobium, niobium, yttrium, technetium, molybdenum, strontium, yttrium, zirconium, niobium, strontium, molybdenum, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, strontium, yttrium, strontium, niobium, strontium,
I screwed up.
niobium.
This section is now 55% complete.
Tin, silver,
HE,
rhodium,
RH,
rubidium, silver, palladium, ruthenium, silver, indium, rubidium, indium, cadmium, silver, ruthenium, cadmium, indium, silver, indium, ruthenium, rhodium, tin, palladium, tin, ruthenium, silver, rubidium, indium, cadmium, tin, silver, rhodium, rubidium, silver, palladium, silver, tin, palladium, rhodium, indium, cadmium, silver, ruthenium, cadmium, ruthenium, rhodium, indium, silver, palladium, silver, rubidium, silver, ruthenium, indium, rubidium, ruthenium, rhodium.
Okay.
This makes
This section is now 60% complete.
xenon, barium, antimony, cesium, barium, iodine, tellurium, xenon, cesium, tellurium, iodine, tellurium, cesium, barium, iodine, cesium, iodine, barium, iodine, antimony, iodine, barium, iodine, antimony, iodine, barium, xenon, barium, tellurium, barium, antimony, antimony, tellurium,
Shit.
xenon, antimony, xenon, iodine, xenon, barium, tellurium, xenon, barium. Well,
This section is now 65% complete.
once more. Tungsten, iridium, osmium, iridium, osmium, rhenium, tantalum, rhenium, iridium, tantalum, rhenium, tungsten, tantalum, platinum, rhenium, tantalum, tungsten, rhenium, tantalum, osmium, iridium, platinum, rhenium, tungsten, osmium, iridium, iridium, osmium, platinum, rhenium, platinum, tantalum, rhenium, platinum, tungsten.
This section is now 70% complete.
Lanthanum, fluorine, gold, mercury, platinum, hafnium, mercury, fluorine, hafnium, thallium, gold, lanthanum, hafnium, fluorine, lanthanum, hafnium, gold, hafnium, mercury, gold, thallium, lanthanum, gold,
Oof.
mercury, thallium, platinum, fluorine, hafnium, lanthanum, platinum, mercury, gold, thallium, hafnium, thallium, fluorine, mercury, platinum, fluorine, platinum, lanthanum, thallium, lanthanum, platinum.
This section is now 75% complete.
Fluorine, lanthanum, fluorine, hafnium, lanthanum, thallium, mercury, gold, mercury, hafnium, mercury, thallium, gold, lanthanum, gold, thallium, fluorine, thallium, gold, hafnium, gold, fluorine, thallium, mercury, hafnium, mercury, lanthanum, thallium, gold, lanthanum.
This section is now 80% complete.
Actinium, plutonium, iridium, radon, actinium, iridium, radium, radium,
Yep, I shouldn't have done that.
polonium, plutonium, plutonium, radon, astatine, plutonium, radium, plutonium, astatine, polonium, actinium, astatine, radon, actinium, francium, francium, actinium, radon, iridium, radium, polonium, astatine, actinium, actinium, iridium, radon, plutonium, radium, radium, francium, radium, francium, radon, iridium, actinium, actinium, radium, radium, astatine, actinium, actinium, radon, iridium, actinium, iridium, plutonium, radon, radon, astatine, astatine, plutonium, francium, iridium, radium, plutonium, plutonium, astatine, francium. Oh, you've got my brain tingling.
Let me try
This section
one.
is now 85%
Let me
complete.
try a new strat.
Oh, hydrogen, helium, lithium, bismuth, lithium, lead, helium, hydrogen, hydrogen, bismuth, 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 helium,
Oh, screwed up. What's the next one?
bismuth, bismuth,
The next one is
lithium, beryllium, beryllium, hydrogen, bismuth, beryllium, bismuth, helium, beryllium, boron, carbon, boron, helium, beryllium, bismuth, beryllium, beryllium, carbon, lithium, boron, lithium, helium, carbon, lithium, lead, carbon, bismuth, 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 beryllium, boron, bismuth, 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 helium, boron, boron, lithium, boron, lithium, bismuth, boron,
this one is
bismuth, beryllium, boron,
oof.
bismuth, carbon, bismuth, lead.
Oh,
This makes you very, very rich of
I'm
mind.
gonna try the
Well,
This section is now
Monochromatic grid
90%
now.
complete.
oh, I'm sodium, oxygen, phosphorus, nitrogen, 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 aluminum, phosphorus, magnesium, oxygen, aluminum, magnesium, phosphorus, nitrogen, sodium, aluminum, nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, oxygen, oxygen, aluminum,
Shouldn't have done that.
aluminum,
Shouldn't have done that twice.
aluminum,
Shouldn't have done that twice.
oxygen, nitrogen, silicon, neon, phosphorus, sodium, silicon, sodium,
Why did I do that?
silicon, aluminum, magnesium, 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 sodium, 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 oxygen, silicon, sodium, oxygen, magnesium, nitrogen, phosphorus, silicon, aluminum, sodium, silicon, nitrogen, oxygen.
This section is now 95% complete.
Scandium, vanadium, chromium, titanium, calcium, manganese, scandium, titanium, argon, potassium, manganese, scandium, argon, potassium, scandium, manganese, argon, titanium, calcium, potassium, vanadium, argon, manganese, titanium, argon, vanadium, potassium, chromium, vanadium, calcium, scandium, potassium, manganese, chromium, vanadium, manganese, chromium, scandium, calcium, titanium, potassium, argon, chromium, titanium, argon, scandium, chromium, vanadium, calcium, chromium, manganese, vanadium, calcium, titanium, vanadium. This
You have finished Pentode and are
Oh,
ready
God.
to move on to one of the other brain sections.
That wasn't really long, but it
Continued
was
play
pretty
is at your
tedious. I had to do
discretion.
it.
Oh, thank you. The good doctor can now think again.
Yep. When I'm doing any percent runs of this game, I'm probably going to do Pentode on the easy difficulty because it's much safer, it's much quicker, but it really is tedious. It's not a fun game to speedrun. That section in particular. The entire game can be pretty fun to
Now entering file sorting.
speedrun in its entirety. And I think the entire game it's going to go to the 4-hour mark. That's cool, I guess. It's not a quick game to speedrun.
You have entered another dimension, a dimension of memory and mind, where all is not as it seems.
So
Objects will be
this
presented.
is file sorting.
Select a drawer for the brick.
This one doesn't rush you at all. It's not like Pentode or some of the other games. It's much less frantic and it's more. It is about memory. It's a memory game. He gives you objects that you place in drawers, and you just have to remember where they are.
File. Select a
As long as you remember where you're putting them, then you're okay.
find. Reach.
So he's going to present you, I think,
You're doing great.
some
This
amount of
section is now
objects,
5%
and then
complete.
He's going to ask
I
for
think
it.
I'm becoming obsessive. I really want to play again.
That's about it. Present objects, you sort them, and he asks
Select a drawer.
to retrieve them.
File. Select a drawer. So select a drawer. Find The Flight of Fancy. Find. Find. Retrieve.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
This section is now 10% complete.
This
I
thing
think
isn't very challenging. But let us see.
File.
Let's see how the harder levels are.
Sometimes drawers will randomly trade places.
That's
This
the
puzzle is
added
now worth
difficulty
10%.
You're going to
Select.
put the object in a drawer. You're going to file it. You're going to remember what it
File.
is, or at least that's what you will think
Let's
you
switch the drawers.
are. And now the
Select a
files
drawer for
are
the flight.
mixed up. It's easier to just. This is the flight to fancy.
Retrieve.
Yeah, this is the flight to fancy.
Let's mix things up a bit.
And he's going to ask things in the middle of the
File.
process, in the middle of the game, not just at the end.
Retrieve the Dinwiddie.
It was the flight of fancy, right? Oh my god.
Let's mix things up a bit. Select a drawer.
Phobioid. And the other green is the sandwich.
Retrieve.
It's the phobioid.
Find. Find. Your brain is growing.
This section is now 20% complete.
Maybe I'm.
And in this level, the only difference is just the
Drawers
sequence.
will randomly trade
Yes,
places.
that doesn't
This puzzle
change,
is now
but
worth
the amount of
15%.
objects you have to remember and file and remember and retrieve is going
Select
to
a-
be bigger. That's it. Team Woody.
File.
Flight of Fancy.
Let's switch the drawers.
Flight of Fancy.
Select.
Flight of Fancy. This is the Flight of Fancy.
Let's switch the drawers. Retrieve the flight. Let's mix things up a bit.
Dun, dun, dun.
File. The.
Phobioid. This is the phobioid.
Let's mix things up a bit.
This is the phobioid. This
Select
is
a drawer for the.
This is the phobioid. This is one of the phobioid is up.
Let's switch the
Phobioid is
drawers.
up. Phobioid is up. Phobioid is
File. The.
phobioid.
Let's mix things up a bit.
Phobioid.
Find the procrastinator. Let's switch the drawers. Select a drawer. Let's switch the drawers. File the equation. Let's mix things up a bit. File the heart. Let's switch the drawers. Find the equation. Let's mix things up a bit. Select a drawer for the anxiety bomb.
Oh no!
Let's switch the drawers.
Jump, bump,
Retrieve the...
phobia,
Let's mix things up a bit.
phobia,
Retrieve.
phobia,
Let's switch the drawers.
phobioid,
Find the anxiety.
phobia,
Let's mix things up a bit. Find the we. Let's mix things up a bit. Retrieve.
Yes. Oh my god.
Find.
If you felt strongly about accomplishing this task, those emotions reinforced your recall. This section is now 35% complete.
Maybe I'm developing a file fetish, but I'd like to play again.
Okay. Okay, let's go for it.
File.
There's a way to quote
Select
unquote
a...
cheat this. You can write things on paper.
Let's switch the drawers.
But I don't know if that's
File.
really necessary.
Let's mix things up a bit. Find. Let's switch the drawers. File. The flight of... Let's mix things up a bit. File. The sandwich. Let's switch the drawers. File. Let's switch the drawers. Find. Let's mix things up a bit. Retrieve. Let's switch the drawers. Select a...
You have been noticing my
Let's mix
strat
things
in
up
this.
a bit.
It's just color coding
Select a
the objects. Flight,
Let's
wave,
mix
flight,
things up a bit. Retrieve. Let's switch
you're not
the
making this
drawers.
harder, you know.
Retrieve. The flight.
Okay, that's it.
Let's mix things up a bit.
Unless he pulls off another. Oh my god.
Select a drawer. Let's switch the drawers. File. Let's mix things up a bit. Retrieve the procrat. Let's switch the drawers. Find. Let's mix things up a bit. Find the... Retrieve. Find. Unbelievable. When I first dreamed this sequence, I didn't think anyone would be able to do that.
This section is now 50% complete.
Maybe I'm developing a file fetish, but I'd like to play again. File. File.
Oh no!
Let's switch the drawers. File. Let's mix things up a bit. Select a... Let's switch the drawers. Find. Let's switch the drawers. File the dim. Let's mix things up a bit. File the flight of fancy. Let's switch the drawers. File. Let's mix things up a bit. Select a drawer. Let's switch the drawers. Retrieve the... Let's mix things up a bit. Find the heart. Let's mix things up a bit. Select a drawer. Let's switch the drawers. Retrieve the anxiety. Let's switch the drawers. Retrieve the... Let's mix things up a bit. Retrieve the flight of fame. Let's mix things up a bit. Find the dim. Find. Find.
Your right hemisphere's... This section is now 65% complete.
Select a drawer. Select a drawer. Let's switch the drawers. Select a... Let's switch the drawers. Find. Let's mix things up a bit. File. Let's switch the drawers. Select a drawer. Oh no! Let's mix things up a bit. Find. Let's mix things up a bit. Select a... Let's switch the drawers. Select a drawer. Let's mix things up a bit. Select a drawer. Let's switch the drawers. Find the weevil. Let's switch the drawers. Find the equation. Let's mix things up a bit. Select a drawer for the flight of... Let's mix things up a bit. File the sand. Let's switch the drawers. Retrieve the ang... Let's switch the drawers. Retrieve the din-witty. Let's mix things up a bit. Find. Let's switch the drawers. Find the... Find the... Retrieve What are you kidding me? You're some kind of genius.
This section is now 80% complete.
I think I'm becoming obsessive. I really want to play again.
I really like how between stages the screen doesn't turn black, but just the drawers restart.
Select. Let's mix things up a bit. File. The
We will
Let's mix things up a bit. Retrieve. Let's switch the drawers. File. Let's mix things up a bit. File.
equation.
Let's switch the drawers. Find.
Equation.
Let's mix things up a bit.
Equation.
Retrieve.
Okay.
Let's switch the drawers. Select a. Let's mix things up a bit. Select a drawer.
Bump.
Oh no! Let's switch the drawers.
Bomb.
File.
Bomb break. Bomb break. Bomb break. Bomb break.
Let's
bomb
mix
break,
things up a
bomb
bit.
break, bomb break, bomb break, bomb break, bomb
Find
break, bomb
the
break,
phobia.
bomb break,
Let's switch the drawers.
bomb break, bomb break, bomb break,
Find
bomb
the
break,
procrastinator.
break,
Let's mix things up a bit.
break, break,
File.
break,
Let's switch the drawers.
break,
Select a drawer for the flight.
break, fly, break, fly, break, fly.
Let's switch
break,
the
fly,
drawers.
break, file,
File.
fly,
The. s-
break, fly, break, fly, break, fly.
Let's mix things up a bit.
Break, fly, break, fly, break, fly, break,
Select a drawer for the Dinwiddie.
break, fly, dim, break, fly, dim, break, fly, dim,
Let's mix things up a bit.
fly, dim,
Find the equation.
fly, dim, fly,
Let's switch the drawers.
fly, dim, fly, dim,
Retrieve.
fly, dim, fly, dim,
Let's mix things up a bit.
fly, dim, fly, dim,
Find.
fly, dim,
Let's switch the drawers.
flight,
Retrieve.
flight,
Let's switch the drawers. Retrieve. The flight. Find. The. Find.
You deserve high praise for the effective use of your limbic system's memory function. This section is now 95% complete.
I'm not gonna bother with more genius stuff.
You must remember and select the drawer in which each object is stored. This
Yep.
puzzle is now worth 5%.
That's essentially all of the puzzle.
Select a. Select. File.
Heart.
Select a drawer. Oh no! Select a drawer.
Heart. Break.
Retrieve. Find.
Heart.
Retrieve. fine.
Great job! Dr. Brain has his memory skills returned by your excellent puzzle play.
Yes.
You have finished a sufficient number of file sorting puzzles to move on to one of the other brain sections. Continued play is at your discretion.
Okay, thank you for that. We are 2 levels to go. 2 regions to go, man. We're going to leave this one for last because it's the, I don't know if the easiest is the word,
Now entering train of thought.
but the one I am most certain to be successful at, I guess, maybe.
All aboard!
Yep. This is train of thought.
Aye, and you've got rock dust on your lips. We'll be needing the green ball now.
We have a train track. We have balls. We have a thing that is speeding up the balls and one thing that is receiving the balls. And we
Duck
have
the blue ball, if you please.
some of them.
We'll be needing the red ball
thing
now.
to change lanes, to change the direction.
Aye, sure.
Of the
Talk
trolley.
about the luck of the Irish.
This section is now 5%
And-
complete.
Yep. Just
Duck the grey ball, if you please.
keep throwing the balls whenever they ask you for such ball. That's the puzzle.
Duck the blue ball, if you please.
It's not, how can I say it, that hard.
Duck the grey ball, if you please. Duck the green ball,
Yep.
if you please.
That is it for this level. How interesting.
Aye, sure, you're looking green now.
Okay, enough
This
of this.
section is now 10% complete.
Let's see the. Let us see the expert
A
level.
little faster now with some more ideas.
Yes.
This puzzle is now
Balls.
worth 10%.
I don't know if they go faster, but they come out faster.
Duck the grey ball, if you please.
Oh no, they do go faster.
Duck the green ball, if... Aye, we'll be needing the grey ball now. We'll be needing the blue ball now.
And also, as you can see, we've got
Duck the
color-coded
grey
tracks
ball, if you please.
with color exclusive tracks.
As you deal with multiple challenges, and this section is now 20% complete.
Duck the blue ball, if you
I don't
please.
remember this one at all. This is never good. This is never a good thing. Oh! We had to...
Duck the blue ball, if you
Yep,
please.
we could experience a ball crash.
Aye, faith in Begor. A wee bit of catastrophe there.
What? What is that
Duck the
about?
blue ball, if you please.
Okay, yeah, I haven't played through this at all.
Duck the green ball, if you please. Duck the...
Okay, that's it. Yeah, this one was
Duck
pretty,
the
pretty
gri-
straightforward
Oh.
as well.
This section is now 30% complete.
I'm playing this one blind actually.
We'll be needing the
I
blue ball now.
know the rules and all, but I don't know what's the deal with the.
Duck the gray ball if you please.
I don't know I haven't planned any strats for this.
Whoops! 'Twas the wrong thought to duck, don't you know?
Okay.
What-
What went wrong there?
Duck the blue ball if you please. Duck the gray ball if you please.
Ech.
Duck the red ball if you please.
Oh, I guess it's green time now.
We'll be needing the green ball now.
Yeah, that's all. Yep, that's it.
Duck the red ball if you please.
So yeah, the gray balls don't have
Duck the green ball if you please.
exclusive and
Oh, you sure? And you keep this up, you'll find the leprechaun.
This section is now 40% complete.
cool. What?
I will be needing the gray ball now.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure something wrong is going to happen. Something that should not happen, something that should not be. Oh god.
We'll be needing the blue ball now. I will be needing the gray ball now.
You can bet your ass that the next ball is going to be blue. But
We'll be needing the blue ball now.
you know these tracks are a kind of
Duck the
that's
red
dangerous.
ball if you
That's a dangerous
please.
thing to do. To let two go in a row and maybe
We'll be needing
there's
the
a
blue
little-
ball now.
this is a shortcut for the blue one and they end up crashing somewhere inside.
Your ability. This section is now 50% complete.
And that's the
This looks shitty. Okay, we're going for a genius level puzzle now.
A little faster now with some
This
more
is,
ideas. This puzzle is
This looks like a train wreck.
duck the blue
because
ball if you
Kind
please.
of is. And they go really fast. They go really quite fast.
Duck the red ball if you please.
Shit. Oh, come on. Don't crash, please, please don't crash. Come on, come on. Yep. What's the purpose of this?
We'll be needing the blue ball now. Duck the green ball if you please. We'll be needing the blue ball now. Duck the red ball if you please.
Okay.
Duck the green ball if you
We are nearing the
please.
3-hour mark.
This section is now 65% complete.
be needing a red ball now.
I don't remember this level at all, but I'm not liking it. I'm not really liking it. This look dangerous. This look fucky. Little fucker. Okay, that wasn't a good idea.
We'll be needing a red ball now.
Keep the tracks like this. Oh, just miss each other.
Dock the blue. We'll be needing a red ball now. Dock. We'll be.
Okay, that was a good strat.
Dock the red ball.
That was a very good strat.
External forces. This section is now 80% complete.
Yep, I could do
Sure.
one of these and one of the easy one, or two of the
No.
or two of the expert ones. I'm
We'll
pretty
be
sure that's-
needing the green ball
I'm
now.
certain that's gonna be easy. That's gonna be quicker. What the hell do I do? Are they gonna crash? Are they gonna crash? Yes, they're going to
Aye.
crash. Come on.
Dock the green ball if you please.
Okay, where does the green one come out to? Comes out from here. Let's check here. Okay.
Dock the blue ball if you please.
Is the blue one going to go from here to here as well? Yes, it does. Let's check
We'll be needing a red ball now.
the red one. Okay, I can bet that every ball's going to come around
I
here.
will be needing the gray ball now.
Yep, and yep.
This section is now 90% complete.
So this was a little
And
bit
as
of
the tracks
trial-
run over
a
the
trial
green,
and error.
green hills of Ireland, we're sure to do it
A
again.
little bit of trial and error, and it's
Dock the red ball if you
that's it,
please.
I guess. Let me give you a little turns. Let's see if the red. Okay, the red was okay. No,
We'll be needing the green ball now.
does the green come out from here? Yes, it does. Does the
I will be needing the gray ball
gray
now.
come out this way? It does. It does.
We'll be needing the blue ball now.
The first one is quicker, and it does. Works pretty well.
Dock the gray ball
I'm
if you
gonna
please.
Put the two of them at the same time. Yep. We're
We'll-
done.
You have finished the train of thought and are ready to move on to one of the other brain sections. Continued play is at your discretion.
I don't know how loud you can hear the clicking. I hope it's not too annoying,
All
but
aboard!
it is kind of necessary because it does save time. Yep, you leave me in that. You will leave me that it saves time. Motor programming.
Now entering motor programming.
Here we go.
Hello.
You must.
Okay, this is a programming
The-
puzzle. we have a bank of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements, which are move, make the doctor move one space, turn left, it makes the doctor turn right and see there. So when he moves, he's gonna move right, and to left is the same thing. He's gonna look left, and when he moves, he's gonna move left. Wait just keeps the doctor still and picks up the brain, which is going to be his nurture. Pretty simple.
You are like a well-oiled machine.
Thank you.
I like that in you.
That is
This section is now 5% complete.
That is a good compliment.
You program.
Yep.
You are to be commended. This section is now 10% complete.
So this was.
Let us do it again without
really
blowing.
The expert difficulty adds.
Try it out. You now have a subroutine available for your program. This puzzle is now worth 10%.
10%, okay. I put the sub one because I know I have to do that. Been playing this game. This when I was a kid, this was one of my favorite games. Yes. But I could never finish the genius level.
Time to power up.
This section is...
And the genius level, you'll see that it has 2 subroutines.
This will make it interesting. You now have an additional subroutine available. This puzzle is now worth 15%.
In expert puzzles, you could call from the main to the main subroutine, to the first subroutine, call it as much as 7 times. Yeah, not much of a challenge. I mean, has nothing to do with the challenge. It means it's not that many movements. It's not a lot of choices to make. But now you have 2 subroutines. And having 2 subroutines, one subroutine that you call from the subroutine.
If the brain were simple enough to understand, we would be too simple to understand it.
Forgot to keep clicking. Okay. In the main, we now have a bank of 7 movements, calling sub 1 and sub 2. We can actually call sub 2, and in sub 1 you can call sub 2, but not. We can of course not call the main. It would be a loop. It would be an endless loop, and from the sub 2 we have the initial set of initial bank of 5 movements, and I'm just going to cruise through these levels because I know them by heart. Just bear with me, and if you want to crack them yourselves, you can stop watching. I'm kind of sorry that I cannot. How can I say this? I'm a little sorry that everyone who's watching this run or any speed run of this is not going to crack the puzzles themselves, because they are really good puzzles. They are really well thought out puzzles. So yeah, I have a duty to. I can do a duty to speedrun this, finish this as quickly as possible. And this is one. I guess the one thing I don't like about this puzzle, it takes way too long for it to run, but it is a really good analogy of what like actual programming is like. I mean, I don't know if it's knowledge because you actually are programming things. You're programming how the doctor moves, how he completes a task. But there's all the cadence of how
Hey, I bet
This section is now
the program
35%
runs,
complete.
how much you have to wait for this to see how it runs.
that was like a power surge.
What? Okay, I screwed up. Okay, fucked up. Come on, there we go. Yep. Yeah, but that's part of what programming is. You make a set of instructions, you run it, and you see on the run how it fails. And when it fails, you try again. You tweak the instructions a little bit, and then you try again. And at some point you will succeed, or maybe you can find a theoretician to demonstrate for you that you cannot succeed, or that if you do succeed, then you can win $1 million prize. That's what we talk about.
You think like a
This section is now
computer science.
50% complete.
But
let us do it again without blowing.
yep. I know this one by heart. There's not a lot of a science here. Oh, come on. Okay, how was this one? Move to left, move to right, move pick up, move pick up, move pick up to right, move pick up, move pick up to right, move to left, move to right, move pick up, move more to left, move to right, move pick up. And now I want to move pick up, move pick up. I am looking that direction, so I have to turn right. Yep. And this is not the same as differently from the music puzzle. If you are correct and you interrupt the solution from running, then it's gonna stop. It's not gonna tell you. It's not gonna like assume or like deduce that it's going to be correct and say no, it's going to be correct, so I will not stop this. And that's how it looks
Time.
This
And that's
section
how it
is now 65%
when the
complete.
doctor encounters
You program with excellence. Want to program again?
yeah. This one is a really beautiful puzzle. It took me a few days. I took entire days to crack this puzzle. This one right here. It was a really. It was very entertaining. It had me on my edge. It was frustrating when it didn't work.
After mastering a sensory motor task, there can be as much as a 25% increase in the number of connections along the sensory motor communication highway.
You just go on, don't you? the
You now have only one subroutine available for your program.
I'm going to do these ones. I'm not going to.
This section is now 65% complete.
Yeah, I'm going to do four more of these pulses and call it a day.
This section is now 75% complete.
That was like a...
This section is now 85% complete.
Let us do it again.
All moves, okay. Is this it? I'm just trying. I'm not gonna counter anything. Alright, that was stupid.
This section is now 95%.
Thank you. Yep. That's it for it.
Great programming. Dr. Brain has his motor skills returned by your excellent puzzle play. You have finished the programming section and are ready to move on to one of the other brain sections.
One of the others?
Continued play is at your discretion.
You're not gonna mention anything about that I just unlocked Dreamland? That's right. I just unlocked a new level, a new section. You know this yellowy thingy that's like linking all the other pieces together? That's called Dreamland.
Now entering Dreamland.
He doesn't even disappear. Ah, he does disappear. Well, nothing. It's just expanding right now. I don't even remember. It would be really rude of me to assume that you wouldn't remember. But
Welcome to the outer limits of Dr. Brain's consciousness.
Yep.
You must penetrate the depths of his mind to reach his higher thought processes. Rathbone will be unable to assist us in this puzzle.
That's it.
Each region has a unique terrain.
Yeah. So, you got a ball, and you can attract the ball with your cursor. And the further you attract it, the more energy you give, the more momentum you're gonna give it, and it bounces. That's really nice. And your goal is to press this thingy right here to open the goal, and the ball, then just make the ball go into the hole.
You have now become a world traveler in Neurospace. This section
How?
is now 5% complete.
How did I do that? I just put a
Another
ball
level
there.
would...
Oh yeah, and now we have, and yeah, this is a crazy game of physics. The terrain is a little more pronounced. It's more difficult to maneuver the ball. Yep. You need to give it a little more energy to make it go up the hill and to go in the hole. That's it.
As you explored and found your way in this region of Dreamland, this section is now 10% complete.
10%, that's okay.
Let's
So, what was this about? Does this attract thing? Yeah, this isn't that hard. Okay.
And this section is now 15% complete.
And now we're moving on to the medium level. What's the difference? What's the difference between this one? Let's hear Elena.
These regions and marbles should prove a little more cooperative.
So I guess it's just easier.
Regions and forces may provide a greater challenge now. This puzzle is now worth 10%.
We have the ball, we have the terrain, there's these things that I think repel the ball, and then this one attracts the ball. Yes, this one attracts the ball totally. And we got portals. If you go through a portal, then we will end up in here. Yeah, it works with the same principle as portals. Oh boy, that was fun. I just kept giving it
Your eye-hand coordinate. This section is now 25% complete.
Momentum to this, and it went
You've almost...
a little more up than before. Oh god. Oh my. There we go. We go into this, and there we go. That's it. That's it for now. No ball. Shit. Come on. There we go.
In mind map, this section is now 35% complete.
Are we seeing more?
Success
yes, this thing kills the ball. I'm gonna demonstrate how they kill the ball. That's unfortunate. It kills the ball and it transports it into the. Oh my god! I wanted to.
A cat's... This section is now 45% complete.
Yes, it's 45% complete. Thank you for that. And now this is just a shitty terrain. Now we're getting Synaptic clefts levels of difficulty. Yeah, that wasn't hard at all.
This section is now 55% complete.
This whole section, I don't think it's all that challenging. It's just a matter of I don't know. If you can do Synaptic cleft, then you can do this completely. And we have to remember, and you can use the it's just like in Portal. When you go through a portal, you keep the momentum you had once you went in. So we make it go really quickly like this, and it goes like that.
As you explore, this section is now 65% complete.
Oh, 65.
You've all
Okay, I want to show this. Let's say we make our best efforts and click the button to open the hole, and then we die, and that's what happens. Oh, oh dear. No, we're dead. I didn't want to play this, but now that I've started, I don't want to give it a half-assed effort. Okay, don't die. I told you not to die, and you just went and did that. That's not cool. That's not cool. Yep. Okay, just ignore the dead things, and there we go. No, there we go.
as you
Let's try a genius level for once. Now the terrain is a little more like ugly and a little less cooperative. Some in the shit. I guess it's made for. Oh god! That was really stupid. In
This
some
section
levels
is
you can
now
get
90% complete.
90% complete. Come on, that was
Let's
I don't know. That wasn't really a challenge. It's supposed to be like the final level of the game, and it's not really that much of a challenge, like compared to fucking Synaptic cleft. Is it they didn't give it much? Oh god, much, I don't know, thought. It's weird that I say that this isn't challenging and then I'm failing spectacularly. Oh my god. Yeah, this isn't that easy. Okay, it's really easy. No, it's not easy at all. It's really challenging, and it's not something that anyone can do. This is the last one, and I can go to sleep. It's 2 in the morning right here. Come on. No. Come on. There we go. Just don't die. I'm asking you nicely not to die. Yes, that's how you not die. That's how you not die. That's how you. Oh my god! Why did you do that? That's how you not die. There you go. Not die. No. I told you not to die. Oh my god! This is the last level of the entire game. Why are you like this? Why couldn't be smooth sailing for the last level? Come on! It's just there. It's right there. It's not that far away from where you previously were. Okay, this is it. This was it.
You have finished Dreamland and successfully healed Dr. Brain's brain.
Pause. That's the time. That is the time. Yes. A little less than 3 hours, 26 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. That was The Lost Mind of Dr. Brain.
Well, my brainy uncle, now that we have brought you back to your senses,
Yep.
perhaps you will admit it was your cheese bee that swallowed the cheese filter, causing the malfunction.
Ah, that's a very shrewd observation, Elena. You know, to conduct this experiment properly, I'll simply replace the cheese filter with something inedible, like a dog bone. Yes, we'll do the whole thing over again. Come, Elena, we must begin immediately.
Uncle. Just count me out of here and long gone.
This is so exciting! Are you ready, Rathbone?
Yep. That was it for Dr. Brain. The Lost Man of Dr. Brain. 80%.
I am Dr. That.
World freaking record.
What's your name?
Yeah, that's not an achievement at all.
You have successfully completed the reconstruction of Dr. Brain's brain. You
Yeah.
too are a puzzle master.
Yeah, sure.
Continued play is at your discretion.
Yes, yes, yes. Completely, absolutely. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.